Good morning, students. We were discussing about health issues. In our textbook, different situations are given. Now, let us take two persons going to different hospitals. If you go to government hospital and if you go to private hospitals. If you go to government hospitals, you may have to spend more time and you may get good treatment. If you go to private hospital, also may get good treatment, you may not waste that much time. But when you go to government hospital, the doctor may not ask you to conduct so many tests, X-ray, blood test, urine test, scanning, like the different medical tests could not be conducted on your body. But if you go with a cold to a private hospital, that doctor may ask you to take your chest X-ray. Then he may ask you to scan. Then he may ask you to have a blood test. So your expenditure in the private hospital will be very high. And you may be given so many tablets. In the government hospitals, the doctor may not ask you to conduct so many tests. He will give you the necessary tablets. That's one experience. Another one that is given in our textbook. If you are sick, if nearby area there are no doctors, you may find problems. If you are an ordinary person and you are taken to hospital, the hospital may not receive you. Now you know the corona situation. Many places you hear many things. If you are an influential person, you may get a bed. If you are not an influential person, the hospital authorities will say there are no facilities in the hospital. No rooms are available. Please go to some other hospital or go home. But if an influential person reaches the hospital, naturally they will provide you the facilities and everything. So that is mentioned in the another experience or explanation that is given in our textbook. So this happens. Why this happens? Because hospital facilities or health facilities now are not available in every nook and corner of India. According to the World Health Organization, for 1,000 citizens, there should be one doctor. In India, it is not so. Even for lakhs, maybe one in village areas if you go. We know our situation for primary health centers. There may be no doctors. And that area may not be neat and clean. And government authorities blame or public blame the doctors are not ready to go to the rural services, villages. But we know if you go to many of the primary health centers, there will be no facilities. There will be no proper bathrooms. So if a person wants to go to there, he may be finding very difficult to survive in that area. So first, infrastructure facilities should be developed in the village primary health centers. Then appoint the doctors. Without having any facilities, they are appointed, they cannot stay there. So that is one of the important factor that we must consider. And doctors should be also made to feel that socially responsible, to take care of the whole population, not only money. Why in private hospitals those doctors ask you to conduct so many tests? Because from those tests only government gets a lot of money, or the hospitals get a lot of money. These are two examples of situations, real life situations that are faced. So the hospital is not ready to receive a patient. And hospitals are telling that no facility here. These are different things. And overcharging. So these are different. And if you go to government hospitals, we know things may not be neat and clean in some areas. We may not be happy to go and move in the hospital areas. Hygienic conditions should be created. That's one of the important factors of a hospital. If you go to a private hospitals, areas will be good, neat and clean. Hygienic conditions should be there. Intensive care units, ICU, will be properly kept. And it will be look like intensive care units. And many hospitals we go, it is not like that. Anybody can go inside and come out. Then that is not intensive care unit. There is a chance of infection for the patients when others come inside. And there is a chance of others getting from the patient. So all those things will be taken care by the hospital authorities. In your testimony, then there are two experiences given. One is Kerala experience, other one is Costa Rican experience. Kerala experience tells that the government has allotted the money to the panchayat for health facilities. You know, in Kerala, health standard is very high. There are plenty of hospitals, there are plenty of doctors, nurses, and hospitals are available in every nook and corner. Yeah, I am from Kerala, I live in a panchayat. My panchayat has got a homeopathic hospital, allopathic hospital and Ayurveda hospitals. All three are available here in a panchayat. And doctors are coming regularly. They check the patients. In a homeopathic hospital, there's one doctor comes daily. In the allopathy hospital, there are two doctors coming. In Ayurveda, there is one. So naturally, these health facilities are available in every nook and corner. So because the government has allotted the fund to the panchayat is doing it. So naturally health facilities are going up. I know Kerala nurses are world famous. So the health facilities and then hospital and surroundings will be kept clean and neat. That's one of the important factors of hospitals. Then another example is given, the Costa Rican example. Costa Rica is a South American country. It's an island country. There the children go to schools, their main activity is fishing. So naturally people will be healthy. Still the government, what did the government decide? Government has decided not to spend any money for defense. Instead, that money would be provided for health facilities. That's a great decision. Because a small country cannot do any kind of fighting with others. So, the money that is being spent for defense expenditure is diverted for health facilities. Naturally, it will improve the health facilities of the people. And that has happened in Costa Rica. You know, every country spends